This flow is all about the hips. We're going to open up the hips, ground ourselves down, and get a little bit of a release with ease. Let's lie down on the floor. I want you to bring your feet towards the outside edges of the mat and let your knees fall together. Place your left hand onto the heart, right hand onto the belly. Close your eyes. Take a breath in. Exhale out through the mouth. Side out. 2 more. Inhaling into the belly. Feel your right hand rising. Inhaling into the chest. Feel the breath underneath your left hand in your heart space. And exhale, side all out. 1 more of these. So inhaling into the body. Exhale, sigh out, let go what's remaining. And open your arms out into little cactus arms. So there's a 90-degree angle on your arms, elbows are bent. Keep your feet where they are. Look over to the left and drop your knees to the right. Find a little easy twist. So literally just letting the gravity do the work here. Inhale, lift your knees back up. Let your knees fall to the left and look over to your right. So we start with an easy, easy twist. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, drop the knees to the right, look over to the left. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knees go to the left, your head goes over to the right. Inhale, the knees lift up 1 more time. Drop your knees to the right, look over to the left. And now place your right ankle on the top of the left knee. You might feel a little bit more stretch there on the front of the left hip. Then bring your arms up and over the head. Take a hold of your left wrist and reach over to the right. So you get that stretch through the whole left side of the body. Oh, it should feel quite nice. Okay, then release the hands. Keep your feet where they are. Just shuffle the left foot underneath yourself so you're coming into a figure 4 stretch. Hug your left knee into the chest. Interlace the fingers underneath the left hamstring. Let's see how it feels on the hips, glutes. My glutes are feeling pretty tight at the moment. Flex your right toes, right foot rather, so you can keep your right knee safe. Press your right elbow into your right thigh. Extend your left leg up to the sky. Now you might feel a little bit on your hamstring as well. Activate the core, lift your head, shoulders off the floor. Do a little crunch up. And now I want you to find a little rock and roll. So you're going to start rock and rolling in this position, forward and back, forward and back. And then find a balance, find a little boat pose with still keeping the legs as they are. Extend your arms forward, lift the chest up, hold for 3, hold for 2. And then release your left leg down to the floor. Bring your knees on the top of one another. Coming into a half cow. Don't worry about how deep can you go. It's quite early on still in this flow. So just extend your body forward, lead with your heart, creating a little bit of space there on the hip area, space on the hamstring. Maybe you do 2 fists and place them on the top of the knee and place the chin over the knee. Maybe you interlace the fingers. Maybe you just let the gravity do the work. Slowly change. Roll your spine up, bring the right sole of the foot down to the floor. Right hand behind your back, lift your left arm up. And exhale, left elbow goes over the right knee and you find a little spine twist, seated spine twist. Then change. Do a little counterbalancing twist to the other side. And then bring your feet forward. Bend your knees, shuffle the bum forward. Bring the feet towards the outsides of the mat and roll your spine down and let your knees fall in towards one another again. So you have that little kind of a tent shape with your legs. Open the arms out into a cactus arms and let your knees fall to the left this time. Look over to the right. Change. Inhale, lift the knees up. 1 breath, 1 move. So that's your flow. Drop the knees to the right, look over to the left. Couple more. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, look over to the right, knees go to the left. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, knees go to the right, head goes to the left. Last one, inhale, lift the knees up, drop the knees to the left, look over to the right. Now place your left ankle on the top of the right knee. And again, that little weight there on the right leg creates a little bit more stretch through the right side of the body. Then you bring your arms up and over the head. You take a hold of your right wrist with your left hand and do a little half moon shape over to the right. Almost like you're stretching in the morning in the bed before you get up. Then shuffle the right foot underneath yourself, so you're coming into a figure 4 stretch. Hug your right knee into the chest, interlace the fingers underneath the right thigh, flex your left foot. Lengthen the back of the neck so it's nice and long by tucking the chin in gently. Then extend your right leg up to the sky. Maybe you start to feel a little stretch on the back of the hamstring. Lift your head, shoulders off the floor. And find a little rock and roll your body forward and back a couple of times. And then find that Navasana, that little boat pose. Finding the balance, just floating up. Yeah, a little different V-sit this time. Then float your right foot down to the floor, coming into a half cow. So you're going to stack the knees on the top of one another. Square your hips. Shuffle the bum back, walk your hands forward. Maybe you want to be here. Maybe you want to go further. Maybe you create a little bit of weight on the top of the knee, interlacing the fingers. And use your breath, so every breath takes you a little bit further. We open up the hamstrings a little bit as well, so it's really good for the back to create, if you have super tight hamstrings, you might have a little bit of lower back pain, so we're kind of trying to ease that as well whilst we work around the hips. Slowly roll your spine up, place the left hand onto the floor, left foot onto the floor, right arm reaches up, and then right elbow goes over the left knee. Inhale, you lengthen, and exhale, you twist. Nice, easy seated twist to start with. Inhale, you lift, and exhale, you twist. Change. Do a little counterbalancing twist to the other side, just to ease it off. And then bring your feet back forward. Shuffle the bum forward. Roll your spine almost down to the floor, so that the shoulders are still floating off the floor. And then with the exhale, reach back up to your knees, and then release. Give me 3 more. Exhale, reach up to your knees. So we strengthen the core as well. And 2 more, lifting it up. Once we have a strong core that's supporting our body, supporting especially our back, we can live nice and healthy. Okay, then take a hold of underneath the back of the thighs, rock and roll your body forward and back, forward and back. And with one of the rock and rolls, come into a forward fold. Come to the front of the mat, into a ragdoll position. Maybe without using the hands, maybe you need a little bit of assistance from the hands. Hold on at the elbows. Again, creating space on that spine. So obviously, focus is on the hips. But once we release the hips, if you have any lower back pain, this will be a really, really good flow for the back as well. So now let's create space. Head is heavy. Make sure that you're not holding on to anything. You can shake your head saying no and saying yes. Take a breath in. With the exhale, release your hands. Vertebra by vertebra, roll your spine up. Come all the way up to standing. Push down through the soles of the feet. Any pain on the back, use your hands on your thighs to walk yourself up. Head is coming up last. Once you're up standing, roll the shoulders around. Let's roll the elbows around. Create space through the upper body. Roll the arms around. Inhaling, lifting the arms up. Bring them back. Ooh. And inhale, lifting the arms up. Hold them there. Reach up, look up, gaze up. Breathe. Exhale, fold over. Draw your hands through the heart center. Look down towards your navel. Inhale takes you into a flat back, soften the knees, hands on the shins, fingertips on the floor, whatever feels good. Hands down to the floor, step your feet back, coming into a high plank. Bend your knees, push back into a loaded beast. Ripple forward, a little bit of articulation through the spine, into high plank. Bend your knees, push back. Exhale, ripple forward, all the way forward. Head is coming up last. Like a wave, you're moving through the body. 1 more. Bend your knees, push back. Exhale, ripple forward into high plank. Hold 8, 7, 6, 5. Look slightly forward towards the front of the mat. 3, 2, 1, bring your heels down, hips up, and find your downward dog. Pedal the feet out, right and left, right and left. Do what feels good. Finding a little bit of movement into the body. Then bring your feet together at the back. Float your right leg up to the sky. Bend your right knee. Open the hips out. Option to drop your left elbow down to the floor if it feels good. Let's create movement. Bring your right knee to the left elbow. So we're going to lubricate the hip joint here. Bring your right knee to the right elbow and then bring your right knee up and around. So I want you to do a figure of 8 with your right knee. Bringing the knee in, bringing it out, and then bringing it up and around. Option to keep the left knee on the floor if it feels too much, and you do that figure of 8 here on all fours. Similarly, you're going to get that movement and mobilization on the hip area that we're aiming today. Good. From there, lift your hips back up. Float your right knee to the left elbow. We're going to take a little fallen star. Bring your right foot through. Lift your left arm up to the sky if you want more. Bring your right hip in and float it off the floor. Good. Look down towards the floor. Flip it over. Coming into a wild thing. Keep your hips high. Transitioning nice and slowly. Open the chest. Open the front of the body. Open the hips. Lift the heart up high. Maybe take the wheel if that's in your practice and you feel warm enough for that. Then look down towards the left hand. Bring your right knee to the right armpit. And super slowly float your right foot outside of the right hand onto the mat. Into a lizard. A little bit of power. And now you should be in a lizard. So 90-degree angle on the front knee. You can stay on the fingertips. You can take your palms down. You can come onto the fists. Or you can even use blocks underneath your hands. If you want more, you can come onto your forearms. Really, really juicy opening for that hip area now. I quite like to move in this today. So do what feels good for you. You can find stillness, but even if you find stillness, make sure that the breath is still flowing freely. Good. Then extend your legs out. Stretch the legs out, coming into kind of a triangle, variation of a triangle. Get an opening on the right hamstring. Then bend your knees back. Come back into the lizard. Inhale here. Couple more bended stretches. So stretch your legs out. Don't worry too much about the form. What's important, you get a stretch on the right hamstring when you do this. Keep that breath flowing freely. Once more. Good. Then take it into that lizard. Bring your left heel down to the floor. Extend your left arm out. So you're coming into an extended side angle. Option to lift your right elbow onto your right thigh. And then look up. Good. Warrior 2. Lift your body up. Reverse it. Reverse the warrior. Flipping the right palm up and over. Ooh, extend your right knee out. Create that space through the front of the right thigh. Humble warrior. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Square your hips. Open the chest out. Lift the heart up and fold over. Bringing the crown of the head down towards the floor. Right shoulders inside at the right knee. Ooh. Again, a nice big opening there on the hips. It's quite a powerful pose. You need a little bit of strength there through the right thigh. Then release your hands down towards the floor, opening up into a surfer lunge, into Skandasana, lifting the left toes off the floor. You can keep your right heel floating, or if you have more flexibility, you bring it down towards the floor. Do what feels good. Option to press the right forearm into your right thigh and lift your left arm up. Option to take it into a bind, so you bring your right hand to left behind you. Breathing into it. Option to drop the hips down even if you want to, and then using the abdominals to come up. Again, every time you come back to this flow, maybe change it slightly. Do what feels good for you right now. Shift it to the left. Ooh, stay low. Coming into a low lunge. Square your hips. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Bend your left knee. Yes, we're on the other side. Drop your right forearm down to the floor if it feels good. trying to bring the left toes towards the right shoulder. Figure of 8, let's go. Left knee goes out. Then you're going to circle it in towards your right elbow. How slow can you go? Bring your left knee out to the left elbow and then bring it up and over. And again, you had the option to take this onto your knee. Let's go. Bring it in. Bring it out. Bring it up. And around. Couple more. If you want more speed, do that. I always encourage you to do you. Do what feels good. Every day is different. Breathe through it. Opening out the hips. Releasing any tension in the lower back. Lengthening the hamstrings. That's where we're at. Fallen star, bring your left knee to the right elbow. Extend your left foot through, come to the knife edge of the left foot. Bring the inside edge of the right foot down to the floor. Keep your hips high when you come into the fallen star. If it's too much, you drop your left knee down to the floor and you just stay here. If you want more, draw the left knee in and then lift it up, engaging the inner thighs. Then look down to the floor. Place your right hand onto the floor. Flip the dog over to come into a wild thing. Keep your hips high, keep your shoulder away from the wrist, so that way you can create space in the body and it's a lot lighter. Open in the front of the body here. Then look down to the right hand. Bring your left knee up into your left armpit and float your left foot outside of the mat. Outside of the left hand to come into a lizard. Whew. And then you get a little bit of a recovery and rest here. Again, move your hips if it feels good. Breathe through it. Option to drop it down to the forearms. Option to drop the right knee even down to the floor. Do what feels good. Make sure that breath is free, because then you can flow with ease. Couple of bends and stretches if you feel like it. Let's stretch the left leg out. Walk your hands in slightly, finding a variation of a triangle. And then take it back into the lizard. Key thing is that the heel and the knee is again in the same line when you take it back. Don't let the knee overshoot the toes. Exhale, stretch your legs out. Find that stretch in the back of the left hamstring. Then bend it back in. Let's do it once more, lifting the hips high. Then bend your left knee, ready for the extended side angle. So bring your right heel down to the floor. Circle the right arm forward and then up. You can stay here. You can lift it up. Come and lift your left forearm onto your left thigh. But make sure that you're not leaning onto it. There's space. Look up to the sky. Warrior 2. Legs stay where they are. You just lift your body up. Wow. Straight arms. Maybe bend your left knee more. Look over the left fingers. Flip your left palm up and over. Reach forward and reach back. Create that space through the left side and then extend the left leg out. Whew, I love this stretch. Good. Humble warrior. Interlace the fingers behind your back. Bend your left knee. Open the chest, square your hips. Lift the heart up high. Exhale, fold over. Let go. Surrender. Let go. Release the neck. The more you bend your left knee, the more likely your crown or the head touches the floor. Then release your hands. Inside at the left foot, come into a surfer lunge. Rotate your right toes out. Maybe the left heel comes off the floor. Eventually it will be on the floor. Option to open the arms out. Left hand on the floor, reach your right arm up. Option to take it into the bind. Opens up the inner thighs quite nicely, this one. If you were binding, you bring your hands behind you and you open it up from there. Okay, then release your hands, stay low. So you work through malasana, that wide squat. Walk your hands all the way forward towards the right foot. Frame your front foot, frame your right foot. And then bring your right foot to meet the left to come into the downward dog. Hello hips, inhale, come forward into high plank. Maybe it is time to reset it with the vinyasa. Drop your knees down to the floor. Push your hips back, child pose. Snaking forward in towards the upward dog. Open the chest, open the heart. Tuck the toes under. And then take it into a downward dog. Good. Soften the knees, look down to the hands. Step both feet in between of your hands to come to the front of the mat. Inhale takes you into flat back. Exhale, folding over. Inhale, lifting the arms up and over the head. Reach up, lift up, gaze up. Exhale, draw the hands into the heart center. I am grounded. I am rooted. I'm open. I stay open. Inhale, lifting the arms up and over the head. Exhale, fold over. Inhale, look forward. Be ready to receive a little bit more. Exhale, hands down to the floor. Step your feet back. Bend your knees, push back. Loaded beast. Ripple forward into high plank. Whew. 2 more of these. Bend your knees, push back. Exhale, ripple forward, high plank. Last one, bend your knees, push back. Ripple forward, high plank. Bring your heels down, hips up, take it into a downward dog. Feet together at the back, lift your right leg up to the ceiling. Bring your right knee towards the left elbow, then out towards the right elbow, and find your way down into a pigeon. Okay, this is one of the major hip openers here. More parallel your front shin is, the deeper it goes. If your hip doesn't touch the floor, you can place a block or cushion underneath your hips. If you want a little bit more and take yourself deeper, tuck the left toes under at the back. Lift your hips up and shuffle them back. Whew. And you will feel a little bit more on your hips. Actually, let's get a little bit of power. I like to combine a little bit of power. A little technique to help us to release. So tuck those left toes under. Inhale, lifting the arms up. And lift your hips off the floor. And exhale, drop them down. Whew. Inhale, lift the hips off the floor. Exhale, drop them down. One more. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, drop. Then find the release, untucking the toes. Maybe bring the forearms down to the floor. Maybe the forehead down to the floor onto your hands. Relax the shoulders. I quite like to keep my hands in prayer, like so. So then I can rest my forehead into my hands. Or sometimes I put my thumbs up and I put the thumbs there on my forehead, in between my eyebrows rather. There's that pressure point there, and it might feel quite nice when you're in that pigeon. Breathe into the part of the body where you feel tension right now. Most likely in your hips. If you have any variations, if you want to take it into a king pigeon, be my guest. If that feels good, maybe you can take it all the way up so both hands go over. Maybe you want to take it into a twist. One more breath in, wherever you are. Exhale out through the mouth. Place your hands back underneath yourself. Tuck the left toes under. Slowly bring your right foot to meet the left. Come back into the downward dog. Pedal the feet out. You can shake your legs. Do whatever needs done. Same thing onto the left. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Bend your left knee. Bring your left knee to the right elbow and out towards the left elbow. And find your way down into the pigeon. And again, if you don't have any cushions or anything to ease it off, you can even keep the back knee bent. And you can do it this way. Find your way into that place where you feel slightly challenged, where you definitely feel the stretch, but something where you can stay about 5-10 breaths. Again, if you did it on the other side, I invite you to do it on this side as well. So you're going to lift up and then you drop. Inhale, lift, and exhale, drop. One more inhale in, lift. Oh, and then drop and then release. Just breathe. Unclench your jaw as there's a direct connection from your jawline to your hips. Again, you can stay there. You can take it into a little twist. You can practice your king pigeon. Let's see how it feels on this side. Enjoy it. Let's take one more breath in wherever you are. Exhale out through the mouth. Place your hands underneath yourself. Tuck the right toes under and find your way into the downward dog. Pedal the feet out. Ripple yourself forward into high plank. Drop your knees down to the floor. Push your hips back into the child pose. Snake forward in towards the upward dog. Exhale, take it into a downward dog. Okay, then drop your knees back down to the floor. Open the legs out nice and wide and coming into a child pose. Easing into the hips. You can stay here in a child pose, or you can come into a wide frog with me. You just let your knees fall out a little bit more and you bring your legs into 90-degree angle. If you're on a hard floor, I'm here on the carpet, so I can easily do it this way. You might need to flip yourself around so that your both knees are on the mat. If you're in the white frog, couple of cats and cows. They're almost invisible to camera, but if you do a couple of cats and cows, you can really feel how it opens up the hips a little bit more. Or you can bring your right heel up and bring your right hip down. And then you're going to bring it back and you're going to alternate to do the same thing on the left. Again, just a couple of extra options to create a little bit more movement into the body. But equally good if you're just still in that child pose. Do what works for you. This is just the icing on the top for the ones that want that extra stretch for the hips. If you're in this wide frog, bring your feet back together. Push your hips back. Walk your hands in. If you're in a child pose, so slowly roll your spine up to come into a seated position. Swing the feet around. Shuffle the bum forward. And then roll your spine down onto the back. Lift your feet up to the ceiling. Shake your legs. Maybe lift your arms as well and shake them up. Bend your knees, take a hold of the shins. Happy baby. Drawing the knees towards your armpits. Maybe take a hold of the soles of the feet. Option 3, bring the hands inside at the calves and then take a hold of the outside of your knees so you can press your elbows in towards your knees and press them down towards the floor. Trying to keep the whole spine on the floor. Again, lengthen the back of the neck by bringing the chin in slightly. Relax the shoulders. Take one more breath in here. Exhale out through the mouth. Release the feet. Take it into a final savasana. You can let the soles of the feet be together. Let the knees fall open. Turn the palms up. Close the eyes. And just let the practice sink in a little bit deeper. You can stay there as long as you want to. And then I'll see you on the mat for the next flow. Maybe that's going to be about the upper body and opening the shoulders and the neck. Today, the focus was on the hips. I hope you feel grounded, rooted, open, and free. Thanks for practicing with me.